Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Rolex Cellini Dual, reference 50525 in red gold. It's a 39mm watch that debuted at Bezel World 2014. Rolex red gold, Everose, because it will not oxidize and fade to yellow over time. It has a high percentage of copper to make it red and a high percentage of platinum to make it inert. On my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see the 39 wears well, lug to lug. It's a compact 45.3 millimeters. That's probably the most relatively compact measurement. I expected it to be broader, but as a result, this watch can be worn well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. In terms of thickness, it's not thick, not by Rolex standards, 12.6 millimeters thick. The timepiece features automatic winding, and as you can see, a second time zone. So being an automatic complication less than 13 millimeters thick, I consider this a design success. The spacing between the lugs is 20 millimeters, and as you can see, it's fitted with a Rolex factory leather strap. A few differences here between what you'll see on the sports watches and what you'll see on the Cellini dress watches. First, straps not all that common on the Rolex Oyster sports watches. Second, pin buckles all but unheard of, and it has a wonderfully double vaulted arch to its construction, meeting in the middle right on top of the pin, and you can see a Rolex 5-point coronet as a separate attached component. Attention to detail strong with this relatively minor piece. I approve. The case itself is simple but strong. As you can see, it's not the super case of the GMT or the Explorer 2, the Sub, or the Sea Dwellers. It's more like a Datejust or a Day-Date in terms of its fluid compound curvature, although it's not quite the same lug profile, and the lugs are quite narrow, giving them a wonderful sculpted point. The bezel is coined, as you will find on, for example, a Datejust, but it's not a fluted bezel. It's a very narrow coined edge, as opposed to what you'll see on a Day-Date or a Datejust with a little bit of a domed upper step to it. So it's a two-stage bezel with a step and a coined profile. The crown is interesting because it's a sort of a vintage look. It's actually a conical profile that's broader at its outer face than at its inner face. And of course you can see the dial, a lovely radial guilloche with applique rose gold split indices for the hours, and in between the split of the two indices you can see Arabic numerals, the applique Rolex crown up at 12 o'clock. This is the Cellini Dual, so thread out the crown. It is a screw-down crown, despite not really being one of the aquatic watches. And you see how there is the ability to set that local time without actually stopping the watch. So as you travel, your reference time remains the same. You've got the 12 hours with the day-night indicators. You know, for example, whether you're looking at basically close to 1 a.m., you're looking at about 12:54 right there. And if I were to pull the crown out, you would find suddenly hacking seconds is activated, and I move everything in sync, and now you see that day-night indicator transition from night and into day, and you can continue that journey from day to night all over again. Now the watch does have a beautiful silvery tone to the dial, and if you get close, there are a few nuanced details. I like the fact that the rayon pattern of the dial converges and blurs at center, becomes a very fine striation, and you can see that there are two polished rose gold chapter rings for the sub register. You have the outer chapter ring, then you have an inner one with its own sunburst guilloche pattern, so design parallelism that I love. You can see even the sun is a little bit of a whimsical drawing on its individual disc, and we'll go back to the PM or night disc so you can get a good sense of the moon, which is itself a little bit of an interpretive whimsical lunette. A lovely set of features. You can also see that the Alpha style hands at center feature a crease down their center to enhance the contrast, and the indices themselves are faceted and diamond polished red gold. Underneath the case back, Rolex, manufacturer caliber 3180, automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve. It is a stop seconds dual time movement, as you just saw, two separate time zones, 4 hertz beat rate, 28,800 vibrations per hour, 50 meters water resistant, not really a swimmer's watch. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer with Rolex's additional attestation that this is a superlative chronometer. So in this day and age, that means -2 + 2 seconds per day, beating the COSC's bare movement standard of -4 + 6 seconds per day. A few sports watch features that you'll be happy to have. A free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge for shock resistance, an overcoil hairspring to better help the watch beat concentrically and keep equal time in any orientation on the wrist or your dresser at night, and an overcoil hairspring made of oxidized niobium zirconium, blue oxidized. That is Rolex's Parachrom Blue anti-magnetic hairspring alloy to protect the watch from, for example, the powerful magnets in your home devices or wiring looms that you might find in the home or the office. You can see this Rolex Cellini Dual in red gold and make it yours on the watch box.